Good evening. Justice is not oppression. When a killer is apprehended by the police, it doesn't make a difference how many people don't want him arrested. Justice is not oppression. Protecting the innocent from killers, no matter how many killers there are, is not oppression. A poor killer is still a killer. A poor thief is still a thief. Yeah, if somebody is just trying to stay alive and steal something to stay alive, so you can find an excuse. What if he doesn't need it to stay alive? What if the money he got, he bought a gun with that? And he intended to use that gun on you, or better yet, on your children. And you stop him. Is that oppression? Of course not. That's called self-defense. When you have a bunch of killers who hate people, let's say in the South, 100 Klansmen attacked a family of 6, black family. And the father of the family knows that if he doesn't protect his family, they will all be killed. And the father is a former GI, knows how to shoot, kills all those 100 would-be killers. Is that oppression? Or is that self-defense? And the answer you would say is, of course, it's self-defense. So why is it that a Jewish boy who's 18 years old, 19 years old, wants to protect his mother and his mother's family, and there's a few hundred killers who want to kill her and her children, why is he considered a killer? Why is he considered an oppressor? Well, because they're innocent civilians. In a war, there are armies. Armies wear uniforms. There's a reason why they wear uniforms. That's in order that their enemies should shoot at them, not shoot at the civilians. The Hamas are the only army in the world that wears no uniforms. And a few 18-year-olds are supposed to go and risk their lives to go in and root them out. They're being shot at from all different corners of the neighborhood, of the houses. They've got to shoot back. It's got nothing to do with Mossad. They're in a corner. They're going to get the bad guys who have shot at their families, shot rockets into their homes. Same bad guys. Bad guys wear no uniforms, are shooting at them from all different places in an apartment house. There is no way that they can't be civilian casualties. But this is self-defense. The fact that there are so many casualties, more than the 1,200 victims that Israel um, suffered has to be understood in context. The size of Israel is about almost 1/40th the size of the United States in population. In terms of a land mass, it's 1 in 400. The United States is 400 times the size of Israel and has a population approximately 40 times the population of Israel, 37, 38 times. If you go ahead and project that onto United States numbers, when you kill 1,200 Israelis, the equivalent of an attack on the United States is a city of about 40,000 people, 42,000 people or so. Can you imagine somebody comes in to the United States, wipes out 42,000 people, rapes all the women, and kills them after raping them, beheads some people, fries children to death? I mean, all these things actually happened. They took pictures of it. You don't care how many are going to die from that enemy. That enemy wants to destroy the entire United States. We've had that before in World War II. In World War II, they tried to kill and destroy not just the United States, the United Kingdom, Britain. They were brutally destroying the peoples of Europe. What were they supposed to do? They had to obliterate the Nazis. There are a lot of civilians who died. A lot more than in Gaza. But that's not the point. The point is, when you're defending your family from people who want to kill you, you have to defend them. And it doesn't make a difference how many victims they're going to be, how many bad guys are going to be, and how many bad guys who hide behind the skirts of the women and children. You can't help it. You got to get rid of the bad guys. Because if you don't get rid of the bad guys, they're going to come again and again and again. They could kill another 40,000, another 40,000, and another 40,000. You can't do that. You don't have a country. This is war. War, existential war. That's what people in this world don't understand. This is not called genocide or oppression. It's called self-defense. And genocide is stupid because there are more Palestinians today in 2025 than there were in 2023. More births took place in the last 2.5 years than deaths. That's a poor way of doing genocide. If they want to do genocide, Israel has the airspace above Gaza. Doesn't need to go into the buildings to root people out. They wanted to kill everybody. They would flatten all the buildings using their air force. It's obvious. But I want you to understand, this is oppression. It's not, justice is not oppression. Self-defense is not oppression. People, the so-called smart people like Piers Morgan says, oh, look at all the intelligence they have. Intelligence you can have for specific people, not for entire brigades, for thousands of people, thousands of soldiers. For them, you have to go from door to door and root them out. You don't even know their names. You have to go find them and root them out. This is so stupid. You can't find them with intelligence. There's no way to observe 15,000 people or 12,000 people who belong to Hamas and figure out exactly where they are at all times, you can figure out for the leadership. That's what they did. That's what they targeted. But not when you're looking for 15,000 people. They hide among the masses. And then they shoot among the masses. And you have to shoot back. At any rate, this week we see that God rewards Pinchas for an act of violence. Pinchas shish kebabbed a man by the name of Zimri, whose actions were a danger to the people of Israel. And something had to be done immediately and unfortunately violently. And the woman that he was having sex with was killed in the process. You have to ask yourself, Cosby, the woman, is an innocent civilian. She's not the terrorist. She's not she's not the gangster. The gangster is Shimei. But the Torah says that when you're trying to get rid of a danger, there's going to be collateral damage. And the one who did the violence is actually rewarded. Pinchas is rewarded with being the high priest of the next generation after his father Elazar, despite not being a priest until then. A different story. The point being that the Torah, the Word of God, the Bible, rewards a righteous person who does an act of violence in defense of the community. The soldiers of the IDF protect the Jewish community in Israel, the people living there. Not just Jews, Arabs, Druze, Christians, a whole lot of people living in Israel, most of them Jewish. The IDF is protecting them. It's an act of violence to be a soldier, but sometimes you have to act violently. And the Torah says the person who does so in defense of the community has to be rewarded. So what has been happening in Israel, Gaza, and all these places? The answer is the Jews keep winning. The Israelis keep winning. There's a man who's been supporting Israel. He's a man that the media loves to criticize. His name is Donald J. Trump. He's 2 days older than I am. Donald J. Trump supports Israel. So guess what? Donald Trump is winning against all odds. He's winning the battle in terms of public support for getting rid of illegal aliens. His tariffs have brought about investments in this country. His policies have increased the number of jobs for Americans, for American workers. The economy will become a much better economy, and people are accepting that. Not because his ideas are better. He keeps winning because he's supporting Israel. So for the Tucker Carlsons out in the world, it says several times in the Bible, I will bless those who bless you and I will curse those who curse you. The first time is in Genesis. Second time is found in the book of Numbers in last week's Torah portion. The prophet Bilam not a Jew, not an Israelite, an enemy, a sworn enemy of the people of Israel, says in a prophetic state, those who bless you will be blessed, those who curse you will be cursed. Take that to heart, Carlson, because you will stop winning. You are losing already. Your ideas have failed, and people don't listen to you anymore. And people are listening to Donald J. Trump. And he's more popular than he ever was. Why does he keep winning? Because I will bless those who bless you. And getting to this Mahndami, who's a thorn, who happens to be a Muslim, who believes in radical Islam. When he says from the river to the sea, he means the death of all the Jewish people who live in Israel. That's what he means. It's not a slogan. It's a real meaning. And the reason for that is because Khomeiniism, or the Islamic Revolution of Iran, or other radical Islamic communities, such as the Wahhabists in Saudi Arabia or the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, all of those people claim that the existence of Jews in their homeland is a violation of the laws of the Quran, because according to them, the Quran is the final word of God, and only those who believe in Muhammad, in the word of the Quran, only those can be successful. The Jews are damned to be second-class citizens forever. Second-class citizens called dhimmi. The translation of dhimmi is similar to the N-word. It means a very disparaging name. Those who claim that Jews and Arabs and Christians live together in peace under the Ottoman Empire, under the Muslim rule, are crazy. Not peace. That was tyranny. That was oppression. That still is oppression. Jewish communities, Christian communities, Gnostic communities, Druze communities. Look at every single minority under these Islamic terrorists. Every single one of them is being murdered brutally. The Druze community in Syria was being attacked, women being raped, making no distinction between young and old, killing little children. Israel had to intervene to help protect the Druze in Syria. Understand this. Those who bless you will be blessed, and those who curse you, Tucker, will be cursed.